Hello everyone. In the previous lessons, you learned about for loop, for off loop, for in loop. In this lecture, you are going to learn about JavaScript while loops. So what is while loop? The while statement creates a loop that executes a specified statement as long as the test condition evaluates to true. The condition is evaluated before executing the statement. So let's check the syntax of the while loop. So the definition says that while statement creates a loop that executes a specified statement. Okay, so syntax, let's check that first. So we have our while, inside that we have our condition, and here is our body of the loop. So while statement creates a loop that executes a specified statement as long as this condition evaluates to true. The condition is evaluated before executing the statement. So before we execute the statement, this condition is tested. Is this true? If it is true, then it will go inside. If it is false, then it will get out of the while loop. So we will see some of the points of while loop. A while loop evaluates the condition inside the parentheses. If this condition evaluates to true, the code inside the while loop is executed. The condition is evaluated again. This process continues until the condition is false. When the condition evaluates to false, the loop stops. So until and unless this condition is false, this loop will continue. Okay. So for example, if this you have like directly written true here, that means it will always be true. Then this will be an infinite loop. It will never stop, which should never happen. It can break your code. So let's take an example so things will be more clear. Let n equals to 0. We are taking a variable n. We are initializing it with 0. We are taking x and initializing it with 0. Our while, and we will add a condition inside it. If while n is less than 3, then n plus plus and x plus equals to n. So what will happen in this? Let's console x and see. X is giving as true. So how will it give me 6? Is because first it will check is n less than 3. N is 0 at first. So yes, here n is 0. So yes, n is less than 3, therefore it will go inside. It will first make n as 1. And it will add it to x. So now my value of x is 1. Okay, then it will check again, is n right now is 1. Is 1 less than 3? Yes. So now it will make n as 2. Now x will become 1. X was 1. 1 plus 2 will be 3. Then it will check n is 2 right now. So is 2 less than 3? Yes, it is. So it will make n as 3 and it will go here and it will say, so right now n is 3, by the way, because it just became 3 over here. And 3 plus 3, which x is already there, which is 6. And then it will check, is 3 equals to 3 is less than 3? That is false. Why? Because 3 is equals to 3. It is not less than 3. So it will come out of the loop and print 6. Okay. Now let's take another example. Let's have a program to display numbers from 1 to 5. Okay, so what is the program? We have to display numbers 1 to 5. Pretty easy, right? Like how we were doing in for loop. How will we do it in while loop? Let's see. Let's have a variable I as 1. Let's have, because we have to display from 1 to 5 and not 0 to 5. So and then let's have n, let it be 5. Now we will have our while condition. We have to do it using while loop, of course, because we are learning about while in this video. So while I is less than equal to n, when you go inside this, why did I use equals to? Because if I don't use equals to, then it will not go till 5. Why? Because we want this to be equal. We want I and n, both of them, to be equal. So now if I do console.log I, first I'll print I so that I get I, and then I will increase. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because first it will check the condition is 1 less than 5, that is true, so it will print 1 in console, and then it will add I with 1, and then it will check again, just like that. It will go till 5, and then 5 is equals to 5, so it will print 5, and then when I becomes 6, that is false, so it gets out of the loop. In programming, loops are used to repeat a block of code. In this case it is I, we are repeating I. For example, if you want to show a message 100 times, then you can use a loop. It's just a simple example. You can achieve much more with loops, right? Now let's take another example. Let's have a variable A, and we will write prompt enter. Okay, this auto says one sec. Enter the wait, let me want n. We will use let n equals to number dot parse int of n, and then we will write let I equals to 0 while I is less than n console.log n and I plus plus. Okay, so first let me explain you how this is. So first it will ask me enter the value of n, so I'll write 3. Okay, so after I write 3 as n, it will convert it into a number, and then I have initialized I with 0. Then it will check is 0 less than 3, that is true, so I will print 3, and then I plus plus I becomes 1. This goes on till I print 3 times. So here you can see 3 is written. 3 is written, right? You can see that is because 3 is printed 3 times in console. I'm using code sandbox, so it is showing like this. Otherwise it would have 3 3 3 like that. If the condition never becomes false, the loop will never end, which I'm not going to show you right now, because if I write while inside this, if I write true, this will go on and on and on, and it will break the code. Now let's jump into another example. Let's have a program to find the sum of positive numbers. If the user enters a negative number, the loop ends. The negative number entered is not added to the sum. So what the question is, we will have a prompt just like we had in this question, but in this we will add a number, and every time we add a number the condition will check is it a positive number or is it a negative number. If it is a positive number then we will add it, otherwise we will terminate the loop. So first let's have sum equals to 0. Inside this we will add our positive numbers. Now we will take input from the user. We will take input inside n, maybe parse int. We can directly make it a number from here. Enter a number. By the way, the user is prompted to enter a number. Here parse int is used because prompt takes number from the user as a string, and when the numeric strings are added it behaves as a string. For example, if user writes 2 and then 3, so it will give me 2 3 and not 2 plus 3 5. So parse int converts a number to string to number. Okay, now let's have our condition while n is greater than equal to 0, then we will sum plus equals to number. In this case it is inside n, and then we will ask our user to write again. We will do the same thing. Basically I can like copy paste it here. Okay, and after that we will console the sum. Okay, now let me write first number as 3. Okay, and then I write 4. It will take again. Now I'll write a negative number, -1. Okay, so it will get out of the loop. Let me refresh and do it again. So 2 4 3 -1, the sum is 9. So you saw that as soon as I wrote a negative number it got out of the loop. So first it will ask the user to enter a number, and then it will check the number which is entered by the user, is it greater than equal to 0. If yes, then it will add it to the sum, and then it will ask the user again, and then it will check again. Okay, and this will be printed only once and not again and again. Why? Because this will be running every single time unless the loop goes false. Okay, the while loop continues until the user enters a negative number. During each duration, the number entered by the user is added to the sum variable. When the user enters a negative number, the loop terminates. Finally, the total sum is displayed. Right? Now, let's talk about do while loop. So first, let's see its syntax. Okay, do, we have body of the loop, and here we will have file, and then we will have our condition here. So this is the syntax of do while loop. The body of the loop is executed at first. So as soon as you save this, first it will print the body of the loop. Then the condition is checked. Okay, once it will print it, and then in the second time it will check the condition. If the condition evaluates to true, the body of the loop inside the do statement is executed again. The condition is evaluated once again. If the condition evaluates to true, the body of the loop inside the do statement is executed again. This process continues until the condition evaluates to false. Then the loop stops. Do while is similar to while loop. The only difference is that in do while, the body of the loop is executed at least once. Now we will take an example. We will take an example to display numbers from 1 to 5, okay, with do while statement. So we will have a variable I as 1, and then we will have n as 5. Now we know the syntax. First we will have do. So first we will print I, and then we will increment it, and then we will check is I less than equal to n. So it did give us the answer. So first it came here, first it printed 1 because I is 1, and then it increased I to 2, and then it checked is 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it will go like that, right? Now let's check another example. We will have the same question, that is we will have sum of positive numbers to find the sum of positive numbers, and if the user enters a negative number, the loop terminates. Negative number is not added to the sum, okay? So sum of positive numbers, let sum equals to 0, let n equals to 0. So you remember in our previous example, in where we did not use do while, we used while loop, there we had our n equals to parse int before, and then we had our while loop. But in this case we don't need to do that, because anyways do while will run our at least once, so we can you write it inside our do while. So we will have our do, inside this we will have our statement. So we will sum equals to sum plus equals to our number, and here we will check n is greater than equals to 0, and then console.log the sum is one second. Okay, so 2 minus 1. What is the sum? Sum is 4. Thank you so much.